Welcome to my Mob of the Dead tutorial for high round strategies. Here in the 30s, you'll notice basically just sporking a lot, well, up to the 30s. And I like to get them all balled up in a nice little circle, shoot them. It's a very textured map, so you're not going to be able to get a lot of headshots unless you get them all together. Starting in the mid to late 30s, I start running traps just because, you know, high round games, they last a very long time. A Mob of the Dead, so I just go ahead and get to trapping pretty early. Pretty much it's all tomahawk and blundergat at that point. Now when you start getting up here into the higher rounds, the main thing you really want to start looking for is to protect yourself. And watch out, there's a Brutus, by the way. Is to always make sure that you have a shield, guys. You'll feel it getting weak when you start taking a little more hits. They did a patch that makes it a lot weaker than it was when it first started. They hit you a lot more. For Brutus, though, you're going to want to basically just, you know, lap them around, keep the zombies busy with the acid gat, hit them with the tomahawk. If you got a Mark II or a regular ray gun, it's just a couple shots. Me, I personally don't like to move the box. A lot of people have a hard time understanding why I don't. I only hit it, you know, 4 or 5 times max and take what I get. If I don't get something good like a Mark II or a blundergat or PDW or something like that, I'll just get a Tommy gun because I'm playing high round games and I want max ammos. So if you don't move the box, then you're basically going to have a lot more max ammos and no fire sales, you know, and that means a lot in the high rounds. So always make sure you have a good shield and, you know. Okay, now I'm going to take you through a going down and recovery process. And this is going to happen a lot, guys. That is Mob of the Dead for you. You know, there's no way about it. People say, man, you got a lot of downs. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of recoveries is what I got. It's all in the art of the recovery. First of all, keep your calm. Assess the situation, you know. If you probably went down because your shield is weak, so make sure you have a good clear path to the shield, which right there I was not necessarily doing. But now I kind of looked around, I'm like, yeah, you know, I better go ahead and clear this out. So first thing you want to do is grab a new shield. If it's weak, it's kind of tough when you have no jug to get broken, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. But see, no shield, so grab a shield. You're going to see me trying to go up there, and like I had told you previously in other videos, you know, always make sure that your gondola is up at the top. Don't try going through the spiral staircase. That is an epic fail in itself right there. You'll notice that, you know, me basically trying to go up, I took my time with it, I hit a trap, it's something I like to do to just kill more, and usually I'll run really fast up and throw a tomahawk at the guy, have it already charged when I'm going up there, but I didn't in this case, so I ended up having to charge it, and by the time I did, there were too many spawning up top, so I had to go do another lap all the way around. But normally, if you're really quick about it and you come out, and especially if you don't hit the trap, you won't run into any hardly resistance going up. You know, throw a couple blundergat shot out up at the top, you know, and by the cherry cola at the couple that are up there, and grab your cherry, get in the gondola, go downstairs, grab your jug. If on your way back you see a bunch of them spawning from the gondola area, jump down, do a lap around down there at the docks, go back up, you know, don't try and fight your way through more than 2 or 3 of them. Now you've got your jug and whatnot, and in this particular case, you know, I didn't run into any resistance, so I just went right for it. Went back up, killed this couple behind me. And I have a new shield. If your shield is weak and you didn't get a chance to get a new shield, probably don't do what I'm about to do, you know. But, you know, I have a new shield. I know I'm good, so I want to go get my speed cola and whatnot. So I head over to the warden's office, and once I do get my speed cola in there, I like to, you know, just hold them back. Now, you could hoard them up in there, but when you're playing solo, you know, it's a little rough. If you're in a co-op game, no problem at all. But solo, it gets a little rough here in the warden's office. So I don't hit the trap coming in. I go ahead, run over, get my speed cola, and then I come back out and I lay down a little bit of Blundergat to get them all in the room. All right? About round them over to the side, throw some Blundergat. Notice they're all going to start pouring into the room, so I throw a little more over there. Keep them out of my path. A little more. And then I hit that trap over there on the way out. And if you stand by the door, by the trap, you know, with the tomahawk out, a lot more will spawn in there, and you'll get a lot more kills that way. I used to do a strategy of going back and forth between traps, but the running time between them really didn't make a big difference. So, you know, I usually stay with the acid trap. Some people have a strategy with that trap. Now, for the rest of the video, it's pretty much very similar stuff. There's several different running patterns you could do. There's several different techniques I've tried out. There's several different door configurations that you can have. Personally, I like to have the door in the acid trap hallway closed, and I've even played with keeping the door there to the laundromat closed, which actually is really nice when you're running out here and does seem to increase the spawn rate. A little more challenging at the beginning, having to do everything. If you've watched my setup video, you notice normally I'll go do the laundromat round 1 or round 2 to get those points to go, you know, get everything done really fast. If you don't mind taking another little longer on the setup, then, you know, I would suggest leaving that laundromat door closed. But in that way, they're not coming out of there, and like I said, they do spawn a lot less. So this is a good place to ball them up while you're waiting for the traps. Always watch out for those slow guys. You know, they are my enemy. And plus I just love to kill them. They're slow, you slow zombie. What are you doing being so slow? I'm gonna kill your butt, you slow and lazy butt. Anyways, so you got different techniques like that. You can always run on the outside of the trap, you know, set it, keep it hoarded up on here. It's all about timing. Know your timing of your traps too, guys. You know, once one turns off, you pretty much have a whole, if you're in the outside here and you're hoarding them up and the trap turns off, then you can go do a slow lap around inside. By the time you get outside and you've got them all behind you and you do a quick little turnaround ball and you go back in, that trap's going to be recharged and you burn them again really quick. So that's the technique I use a lot. Just do what I consider a double trap, but it's, you know, not really a double trap, you know, like, because you can't run through the acid trap. But, you know, it's a way to maximize your potential there. There's also, you know, if it gets a little hectic on that one side, you can go back over there by the laundromat area. You'll see that segment in a little while. But, you know, it's a lot of the same here. You know, it's seeing people say, man, it must get boring going to the high rounds. Well, I don't necessarily know if it gets boring. It gets tiring is what it gets. You know, it's a lot of running. Like this particular game I was just doing for some footage, and I think I went to like 118 or something like that. And I had checked my miles traveled before I started the game, and I had run over 215 miles just getting to 118. So I imagine getting to 155 is about 350, something like that. I mean, talk about running, over a dozen marathons. Yeah, it can get a little tiring. Your hand is definitely sore. You dependent upon how you have your system set up and you've done it right, you can play 4 to up to 6 days for getting a G spawn. That's really at the mercy of the troll art gods and whether there's an Xbox Live disconnect or whatnot. A lot of people say they lag out, after 6 or 7. Well, they're probably on a wireless network. If you want to play high-round games, you have to be hard lined in from your router. You have to make sure your sleep settings are off, people. These are all basic things. I would even take it to the next step of calling your internet provider and having them assign your Xbox its own IP address, a specific IP address just for that device. So when your router happens to be cycling through, and you might not be a server person like I am, but routers do rotate IP addresses, all right? So when that happens, sometimes that can cause a disconnect for you. So you want to make sure that your service provider isolates your device and puts it on its own IP, and make sure that the right ports and firewalls are open. This has nothing necessarily to do with this particular game, but this has to do with overall high-round zombie playing. Make sure your Xbox is set up right. Someday, maybe I'll make a video specifically on that, but I don't really see how, outside of, a simple video of how to turn your Xbox sleep mode off. You can Google that, or YouTube that. That's real simple. As far as dealing with your internet provider, good luck. They're all different. I have a company called Bright House, Comcast. I've dealt with them before. It's AT&T. I've dealt with them. But, they basically, you might just have to get through a few different people to get a gaming specialist in that department. But other than that, I'm going to just let this game play out, throw a song on for you guys, enjoy it. I hope you've learned a little bit about high-round Mob of the Dead here. Parting tips, again, shield is crucial. A great way that I didn't mention how to get rid of a shield is, let's say it's getting weak because you're checking your shield. You see it's dented. Get a horde behind you and just slowly let them, as they're behind you, let them hit it. You'll feel the thump and it break, and then go grab another shield, continue on with your game. Other than that, here's the different patterns to run that I like. And happy hunting. Go kill you some zombies, boys.
Don't mind if I fucking...
No, really, it gets bigger, it gets stronger. It's cold air, touchy feelies. They hang lower, don't worry. About 89 degrees. Things ain't usually like this. I got on thin shoes, no underwear. Maybe later you can see it, you can feel it, it'll all be there. Hot potato, rhymes with later, and pulsator. Push it, push it, push it. Stronger, just you wait and see. Hot potato, get her down, Shirley. Shake, Shirley. Shake, Shirley.